She was rich, cold, and used to looking down on everyone, until a black Uber driver gave her a ride that shattered her ego and opened her heart. Vanessa Pierce had everything: money, power, influence. But what she didn't have was empathy. She judged people by their status, their clothes, even the cars they drove. That is, until one unexpected ride with a black Uber driver challenged everything she thought she knew about love, humility, and the true meaning of connection. What happened in that car changed not just her perspective, but her entire life. In the heart of a bustling city filled with high-rises and hurried lives, lived a woman named Vanessa Pierce. Known among her elite circle as a rising fashion executive, she walked with a certain air, confident, polished, and untouchable. People either admired her or avoided her. She was sharp, successful, and unapologetically blunt. Vanessa had grown up in privilege, taught early on that status defined worth. Her parents were old money, country club weekends, private schools, and the kind of upbringing where she was never told no. Naturally, as she climbed the ranks of her career, she surrounded herself with people who looked, acted, and thought just like her. Anyone who didn't fit into that glossy world, she ignored. On a rainy Thursday evening, after closing a big campaign pitch downtown, Vanessa ordered an Uber to avoid getting soaked. She tapped her stilettos impatiently as a black Toyota Camry pulled up. She frowned, not the luxury ride she was expecting. The driver stepped out, a tall black man in his early 30s with warm eyes and a calm smile. "You, Vanessa?" he asked, holding the door open. She gave him a quick once-over. "Obviously," she said dryly, stepping into the back seat without a thank you. The ride began in silence. Vanessa scrolled through her phone, sighing every few minutes, checking emails, declining calls, and mentally preparing for a dinner with board members later that night. But after about 5 minutes, the driver spoke. "Long day?" he asked casually, glancing at her in the rearview mirror. She didn't answer at first, but something about the sincerity in his voice made her look up. "You could say that." He nodded. "Those are the ones that matter most, when you give it everything, even if no one notices." His words surprised her, not because they were deep, but because they weren't the kind of words she usually heard from someone in his position. "What's your name?" she asked, suddenly curious. "Micah," he replied. "I drive part-time. I'm actually finishing my master's in psychology." She blinked. That caught her off guard. He didn't fit into the box she had unconsciously put him in. The conversation continued, slowly at first. She asked questions about his studies, his life, even what got him into psychology. He answered each one with thoughtfulness and calm confidence. Micah told her he had grown up in a working-class neighborhood, raised by a single mother who taught him that real success wasn't measured in income or image, but in how you treat people. He spoke about his passion for helping at-risk youth, and how Uber was just a side hustle while he built something meaningful. By the time they reached her building, Vanessa didn't want to step out of the car. Something about that ride felt different, real, human. The next day, she did something she had never done before. She requested the same driver. And then she did it again. What started as brief conversations during rides turned into coffee dates, then walks in the park, then dinner. She started to notice how grounded she felt around him, how he never tried to impress her, how he spoke with purpose, not performance. Over time, Vanessa found herself changing, not in the way she dressed or worked, but in how she saw others. She started acknowledging the doorman, speaking with the receptionist, donating not just money, but time to local youth programs Micah was involved in. For the first time in her life, she questioned everything she'd believed. Her relationship with Micah wasn't a fairy tale, it was real. It came with hard conversations, uncomfortable truths, and moments of reflection. But it also brought healing. She began to understand how privilege had blinded her, how judgment had been her default lens, and how love, real, humble love, required vulnerability. Months later, she found herself walking into that same boardroom she once ruled with icy detachment. But this time, she carried herself differently. Not with superiority, but with intention. She didn't just want to be seen anymore, she wanted to see. Micah didn't change her, he simply showed her what she had been missing. And in that space between who she was and who she was becoming, Vanessa found something she never expected: freedom. Freedom from judgment. Freedom from perfection. And most of all, freedom to love without walls. She once looked down on everyone. Now she looks everyone in the eye. All because of one rainy night. And the Uber driver who didn't just give her a ride, he gave her a reason to change. In a world obsessed with appearances, Vanessa thought she was at the top, but it took a man society overlooked, a humble Uber driver with wisdom and heart, to show her what truly matters. Love isn't found in luxury, but in humanity. And sometimes, the person you least expect is the one who helps you see yourself clearly for the first time.